This evening, you know, temperatures are dropping. It's rather chilly out there right now, so it is a first alert weather day for freezing temperatures, expecting a widespread freeze first thing in the morning, as temperatures will range all across West Texas from 22 down in the Marfa Plateau up to 32 degrees in some areas across southern Brewster and Presidio County. So again, area wide, first thing in the morning, we're going to see that freeze. And also wind chill value is very cold too, dropping down into the lower 20s to near 20 across the Permian Basin first thing in the morning. But you can see everybody's going to be rather cold. Van Horn could have wind chill values down around 17 degrees first thing in the morning. These are the actual temperatures that are forecasted. You can see they're going to be below 30 all over the place. So please take freeze precautions with the pets, the pipes, the plants, and check on people. Make sure they're staying warm and safe. As we look outside, community Christmas tree all lit up. Beautiful conditions out there, but it is rather cold. Actual temperatures now down to 34 out at the Midland National Air and Spaceport. And we're seeing those temperatures again drop down into the 30s for many areas. Alpine already at 28 degrees as we have calmer winds across the area. So the wind chill values, well, they're not that bad, but it feels like 29 out at the Midland International Air and Spaceport at the present time. So temperatures will plummet overnight tonight down into the upper 20s to start your day. Then we'll see a little bit of a warm up, warmer than today, back into the 50s by the afternoon.
Thank you, Tom. We're going to get another weather update in a few minutes, but for now, let's turn to some news headlines. We're going to start tracking crime. On December 7th, CBP officers seized nearly 70 pounds of meth in Presidio. Here's a look at what they found. Customs and Border Protection says that the drugs were hidden in a car driven by a 47-year-old woman from Mexico. Officers found the bundles of meth in the gas tank, and they say the driver was turned over to Homeland Security to face federal charges for smuggling. Some public safety news for you now. Alpine High School was placed in a hold earlier today after a threat was called into the school. The call originated from out of the state and was possibly AI generated. The Brewster County Sheriff's Office and their explosive detection K9 Dory were all on the scene to check the campus. After about an hour and a half, the threat was deemed to be non-credible. Continuing to talk some public safety news, the International Rescue Committee of Abilene partnered with Prosperity Employment Outreach in Midland today to provide resources and assistance for victims of labor and human trafficking. Now, labor and human trafficking remains a significant issue here in West Texas, with some traffickers offering money and help in exchange for transportation, which again is an example of labor trafficking.
Probably 95% of all cases that come to us for us to help them with employment have been to prison for some type of labor trafficking. And half of those were unwilling. Probably another quarter of those were coerced into it.
Now, this can occur locally and across borders, which is something that Prosperity and the International Rescue Committee hope to change. Take a look at this. Over 6,000 Midlanders currently have a Costco membership, and they travel hours away to shop. But that's going to change soon because today Midland broke ground on what is set to be the largest Costco in Texas. It's a request that the city of Midland has been hearing for years. And the city of Midland originally had a conversation with Costco about the development back in 2019 and 2020. But as many of you know, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, plans fell through until this year. Plans sit around 180,000 square feet and create over 100 jobs. This new Costco is expected to open as soon as next June.
An opportunity for Midlanders to shop and get a lot of things that we just don't even have access to here in Midland. There are products that Costco sells that they'll be bringing to our community that we don't have anyone else in our community that's selling right now.
Now, this development is also the start of Highway 191's North Corridor development. Some health headlines for you now. Medical Center Hospital's surgical team successfully had 5,000 surgeries with robot Da Vinci surgical systems as of October. Today, that number has increased to 5,125. Now, it's been 14 years since the Da Vinci surgical system was added to MCH. That was in 2011. And the hospital says there's a lot more to come in the future.
We have exponentially grown in just in the last 4 years. So we have 3 robots now, and hopefully we can grow more in the future, not just with their Da Vinci intuitive robot, but we also have a robot for total knee arthroplasty that we acquired in February, and we have met prior at least 500 plus cases on that as well. So we may be having another celebration here at Medical Center very soon.
Now, Odessa Regional Medical System and Midland Memorial Hospital also use this Da Vinci surgical system. We've got some breaking news for you now that's just into our newsroom a few minutes ago. According to the Odessa American, they confirmed to First Alert 7 News by Mayor Cal Hendrick. The City Council voted unanimously tonight to settle a whistleblower lawsuit against the City of Odessa. The city is going to pay fired former Assistant City Manager Aaron Smith $175,000 as a settlement. That's less than Smith was seeking. Smith reported former Mayor Javier Hoven to authorities and asked for an investigation into Hoven over the T2 contract and alleged open meeting violations. Cal Hendrick released this statement exclusively to First Alert 7, saying, quote, "This new city council is trying to do what they feel is in the best interest of the city. Settling this was in the best interest of the city," end quote. Continuing normal news headlines with education. UTBB has announced that there's a new civil engineering program that's going to be available to all students very soon. UTBB started the process to create this college curriculum 3 years ago after research was done and found that the Permian Basin needs a lot more civil engineers. Professors with the program say it's still a work in progress and they do need to create labs, but they're confident that this will set students up for success and meet that civil engineering demand.
What we are doing with Dr. Binia's arrival is to build the curriculum, build the infrastructure, so that we can have a phenomenal chance for the students to gain that knowledge from experts in the discipline.
Especially Texas, as I mentioned, is the second largest employers for civil engineers. And here, I would say that students probably by the time they reach the senior level, they already have a job offers.
This new curriculum is going to be part of the College of Engineering undergraduate program, and it's going to begin next fall. Talking more education news now, Ector County ISD opened its reading garden today. Take a look. The district calls the garden a gift to the West Texas community, and anyone can stop by to enjoy it and just sit and read for a while. The artwork in the garden was done by ECISD students and their teachers, and the main mural took about 4 months to complete. It is the holiday season, and foster children and foster families are being provided for West Texas. That's right, the Permian Basin Giving Tree distribution was today. Take a look at all the things that were donated to the Giving Tree. Over 3,000 toys, hygiene products, clothes, and games were collected all over the past month. In this holiday season, the Giving Tree served 380 foster children. Now, these gifts go a long way to give them a sense of normalcy.
You know, a lot of times we think about Child Protective Services working with kids in foster care. However, they do a lot of services and serve a lot of families that are in that just are struggling or in need. So it's a stage of service that they call family-based safety services.
Volunteers sorted all of the gifts and they helped pick them out for as many foster kids as possible. The Permian Basin Giving Tree is made possible by One Accord for Kids and the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Continuing to talk some holiday news, today Fair Havens held their annual Gingerbread Haven Luncheon benefit at the Midland County Horseshoe. The luncheon is the only fundraiser that Midland Fair Havens has all year, and these funds raised provide around half of their annual budget. The rest of it goes towards helping the single-parent families that Midland Fair Haven serves. This fundraiser is split into 2 parts, with the ladies' luncheon around noon and a family event in the afternoon. This year's event had a turnout of 2,500 people. In 2024, Midland's Fair Havens has served over 700 families. Looking in the community now, the United Way is celebrating the groundbreaking of a new state-of-the-art training and conference center today. This project for the center started back in 2022, and it'll serve as a hub for training nonprofits, workshops, and community events. It's also going to help enhance the United Way of Midland's ability to serve residents, and this groundbreaking is a significant milestone for the organization in helping to give back.
Our mission is to get our folks home safe, and we embrace 24/7, 365 safety, not just on the job safety. We want to promote safety in everything we do.
The Permian Basin Service, Transmission, Exploration, and Product Safety Network held their monthly meeting today to recognize and honor those who used their stop work authority while on the job. Their Stop the Hurt initiative has been in place for at least 11 years, and it's a reminder to help prevent damage, injury, and death, specifically in the oil and gas industry. Anyone in this industry could nominate someone for a Stop the Hurt award, and today 4 of those nominees were awarded for championing workplace safety.
That it's not just a buzzword anymore that, we got to do the safety nonsense again. I mean, there's, you know what? Yeah, we had to shut the job down for 2 hours, but that meant that all of our people got home safely. We were able to resume the job and keep on working.
For more information on PB Steps and how you can get involved, you can visit their website. It's pbsteps.com. First Alert 7 has reported on many deadly and tragic car accidents in the last few weeks. Tonight, one family opens up about the lasting impact of a distracted driving accident that changed their lives forever. Our very own Isabella Garriga spoke with the Teague family and a defensive driving expert to shed light on drivers that can work to avoid these tragedies.
Well, we'll get that story to you a little bit later. Weather is going to be a little cold. Freezing temperatures on the way first thing in the morning. We'll talk more about that coming up next.
This is a First Alert 7 weather day. Now an update from Chief Meteorologist Tom Teevertiller.
Yes, the First Alert weather day has started tonight into Wednesday morning for freezing temperatures. Here's the particulars. That we are expecting temperatures to range from 22 to 32 degrees overnight tonight, early into Wednesday morning. This covers all of West Texas and southeast New Mexico. And the big threat is below freezing temperatures and wind chills. Please take freeze precautions tonight as we do have the dry air in place, a good north to south flow in the upper levels of the atmosphere, spilling in that colder air. That combined with clear skies and light winds will allow those temperatures to plummet. They're already doing so out there. We're going to see this ridge of high pressure back across the western U.S. start to affect us with some slightly warmer temperatures and a pretty quiet end of the week across the area. Right now across the state, most of the rain we had earlier across the Dallas-Fort Worth area has moved away. Back home in West Texas, we're seeing clear skies and light winds and cold temperatures as we're already down to 34 out at the Midland National Air and Spaceport with a wind chill at 29. It's 36 up towards the Lubbock area and 30 in Amarillo. So the coldest stuff in the state right here. But you can see that colder air starting to make its way down towards central Texas and the Texas Gulf Coast. Futurecast, well, not much is happening here over the next 24 hours. We may pick up a few high clouds tomorrow afternoon, but they really start to thicken up tomorrow night and into Thursday. So we'll avoid another freeze, but we'll keep those temperatures a little on the cool side and into the 50s coming up for your Thursday too, before we start to see things warm up with more of a southerly wind in the forecast coming up as we move in towards the Friday time frame. Freeze warnings are up for the first freeze of the season across Presidio Valley, the lower elevations of Big Bend National Park, Terlingua, Terrell County. But everybody, again, is underneath a freezing temperature alert for tonight, as we are going to need to take precautions with the pets, the pipes, the plants, and check on the people, too. Make sure everybody's staying warm and safe, as we're going to see the bitterly cold conditions first thing in the morning across the area. Then tomorrow, back into the mid to upper 50s out there. So it's still a little cool, still jacket weather. It is fireplace weather right now. It looks like it's going to stay that way really into Thursday as those clouds will thicken up a little bit and we'll see it keep temperatures down. But then a big warm up. And if you're planning on going to the big Christmas parade in Midland, the Merry Lights Parade of Midland, well, it does look like we're going to see things fantastic for that. At the start of the parade, temperatures right around 60 degrees, so who can complain with that?
Thank you, Tom. We're going to go back to that story that's all new at 9 o'clock. Our very own Isabella Garriga spoke with a family and a defensive driving expert to shed light on what drivers can do to avoid tragedies.
On October 10, 2010, just a mile west of Loop 338 on Highway 302, 22-year-old Dustin Teague and his wife were driving home after attending a party in Goldsmith. Dustin believed that he was safe to drive, but by 4 a.m., his parents received the call that would change their lives forever.
He was distracted. He went off in the center median and came back, went off on the right shoulder of the road, and the vehicle went off at a culvert, so he went airborne, and they do estimate that his vehicle rolled at least 7 times, and he was thrown from the vehicle and pinned underneath it.
Dustin's wife, Shannon, was injured but survived, and their 1.5-year-old son, Caden, now 16, has grown up never knowing his father. Dustin was one of 13 young adults who died in the fall of that year, all within a 6-week period. Dustin's father, John Teague, now keeps track of car wreck statistics and estimates that in the past 3 weeks, there have been about 10 fatalities on our local roads.
We've had some deadly collisions here recently. A lot of that has to do with, drivers not being alert. Drivers not being ready for changes in the road, changes in their path of travel.
Experts emphasize the importance of driving cautiously and perhaps practicing the 5 Ds of defensive driving.
We are in a smaller city, but we have a lot of traffic here, obviously based on the oil field business here. And so there are more vehicles for the road that really allow it. You may go from being at a 75 and now you got to drop down to a 60. And if you're not paying attention to those signs, then you could miss those signs and then you end up, speeding in those zones, possibly putting yourself at risk of being in a collision.
For parents who have lost a child, John Teague offers a message.
We're here. We do have the Permian Basin Child Loss Group. It's a support group here for parents who have lost a child. When the family is ready, reach out to us. Someone will respond, and we'd be glad to talk to you.
The group meets on the first Thursday of each month at Big Daddy's Restaurant on East 42nd in Odessa.
Drive mindfully. Drive with the understanding that there are other road users on the road, especially in the rush hour times where it gets more congested.
But just be careful. Take your time. Don't get in a hurry.
This story serves as a reminder to stay alert and mindful of others on the road. Whether you're an experienced driver, a new driver, operating a vehicle with 18 wheels, 4 wheels, or 2 wheels, we all share the same road. It's not just about where you're going, it's about getting there safely. Reporting for First Alert 7 News, I'm Isabella Griga.
Thank you, Izzy. Up next here at 9, the Texas House Republican Caucus needs to select a nominee for their House Speaker. We're going to take a look at the 2 frontrunners up next. We are your first alert for state news. Today we're talking about the Texas House Republican Caucus, which needs to select a nominee for House Speaker. There are 2 clear frontrunners, and both of them seem to believe that they're on track to be selected. But only one will win the gavel. Michael Atkinson has more.
2 candidates.
The majority will prevail in the Texas House.
The Speaker's race is over.
Neither one outright victorious on Saturday, but both say they're the next Speaker of the Texas House of Representatives.
I have secured enough to be the Speaker of the House for the next session.
Do you think you have a clear path to the gavel in January?
I do.
David Cook, the reformist candidate, secured enough votes to garner the House Republican Caucus's nomination for Speaker, but only after the bar was significantly lowered. Dustin Burrows and his supporters left the caucus meeting and said in remarks that afternoon he had the support of 76 lawmakers, both Republican and Democrat, enough to win the speakership. On Saturday evening, both Cook and Burrows released their lists of supporters. Cook had 56 Republicans, Burrows had 38 Republicans and 38 Democrats. But a scan of the lists found 6 duplicates. For example, both Cook and Burrows say newcomers Don McLaughlin of Uvalde and Paul Dyson of Bryan are on both lists, and both have said they support Cook, not Burrows.
There's clearly, significant conflict within the Republican caucus over the direction of its leadership. And nothing about this weekend has clarified that ongoing conflict.
Add to that pressure from the Texas Republican Party. On Saturday, the Texas GOP passed a resolution calling for Republicans to only support Cook and says they could be censured for not doing so. And under new GOP rules, a censure means candidates couldn't run as Republicans on a primary ballot for 2 years.
All right, before we go, tomorrow is a big day for the Coahoma Bulldoggette softball team. They're going to receive their championship rings from their 2024 season. That's tomorrow at noon at the Coahoma Elementary School competition gym. This team is going to be looking for their third state championship in a row next year. And of course, our sports team is definitely going to be keeping an eye on all that. But again, if you want to go cheer on one of our local teams and just congratulate them on a job well done this season, that's tomorrow at noon. But it's going to be cold, Tom, isn't it?
It is going to be a little on the cool side, but congratulations to them going for the three-peat this next season. Well, in the meantime, we're going for some freezing temperatures first thing in the morning, flashing red for a first alert weather day for a freezing morning. We're going to see temperatures staying on the cool side all the way through Thursday. We're heading out to a parade on Saturday.
I'm excited. It's not going to be too bad for
Mary
that.
Lights Parade, weather looks good.
We'll see you there. Thanks for joining us at 9. We've got more coming up at 10.